Right.
Just give me a minute, guys. I'll be with you in a minute.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
right. So getting back into the meeting.
Are you okay
Okay,
now?
guys.
Right.
Yeah, I think everything is perfect now. Thank you very much for joining us. This is the preparation for the EOS Africa Virtual Hackathon. The hackathon is happening in 11 days. We thought it would be best to just guide teams and mentor teams so that they can participate in the hackathon. I'll take you through what we're going to do. So we are going to have this session in 2 parts. The first part, sorry. So the first part is going to be me taking you through the details of the hackathon, the important information we should be looking out. And then the second part of this session will be Felix, who will be giving us the plan for the week, what we're going to do within the 11 days, so that we can be able to have teams participating in the hackathon and joining the rest of the world in South Africa. Right, so I'll go straight to it. I want to share my screen so that we can start with what this event is expecting us to have ready. So let me just share my screen right now. Right, so can you guys see what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we'll highlight a couple of details here. So this event is the Africa Virtual Hackathon, which means we can participate from homes. We can also participate from organized centers. I think in Nairobi we'll probably have a couple of organized centers. I'll have a conversation with Sam to see if we can use the EOS Nation hub that you have as one of the centers that will host people just to who can work from there. We have some good internet which you can support, and where the mentors can reach easily. But for the rest of you who won't be able to get to an organized center, we can do the hackathon from home. Right. So the hackathon is happening on October 15th to October 18th. By my calendar, that puts it at Monday, 2 weeks from now, or rather Monday a week from now, all the way to Thursday. Now, we are supposed to register on using this link. So it's one of the things that we have in our checklist of what we need to do. We need to ensure that people register, both on the preparation forms. There's a preparation form that will be sent out just so that we can know all the people who are participating and we can be able to plan the different mentors who will be able to support these individuals. So you're supposed to register if you intend to participate. Just click the register button, make sure your name is in there, make sure you fill out all the details. It's going to be part of our checklist just to make sure all teams are ready. Now, because Block 1 wanted to do a series of events that reflected the ethos of EOS being truly global, and the community in itself also respecting the fact that EOS is a global community. So the EOS hackathon has come to Africa. So we get to do it virtually, and we also get to host the final pitch, the final round of the pitches that will be happening on December 7th. But now we are talking about the preparation bit, which will be from the 15th, which is a week from now on Monday, all the way to Thursday. Right. So teams are expected to join the virtual competition on Slack. That's where most of the information from the organizing team will be passing through to the rest of us who will be at the event. So you all know that, or rather, it's practice that blog producers cannot participate in the hackathon, right? So what we will do is we will come in and support the people who will be doing the hackathon, the people who will be participating in the hackathon. So we will essentially be mentors for you here in Africa, just to help you familiarize yourself with the software, familiarize yourself with how you build it and how it all works. So please ensure that you have Slack on the day of the event. In the meantime, also follow the developer portal and start going over this information. In the plan, Felix will give a procedure that we will use to ensure that this knowledge is transferred quickly. Now, looking at the prizes, so we will have 3 winning teams from this virtual competition that is being held in Africa, winning an opportunity to go and compete for the $500,000 grand prize. Now remember, it's not only the $500 prize that is available, but also an opportunity to meet with Block One and EOS VC, which means that if you have any projects that you would want VCs to have a look at and to back, this would be a really good place to go. So that's prizes for position 1, 2, and 3. And remember, a win for one of us is a win for Africa. So we want to support teams. We want to make sure that we do it in a very organized way so that teams can have a shot at winning in the finals. So registration is only open to citizens of African countries. So you will have to be a citizen of an African country to participate and win prizes. So all participants must fill out this registration form below and agree to the privacy policy and accept the participation agreement. So this will also be in the final checklist that we will provide to the teams that will be participating. Now, that's the registration button, and these are the judges. Now, it's really important to know what your judges care about, or who they are, and what they think is really important, and what change they're trying to bring to the world. Now, once you understand that, you can be able to tailor your pitch to favor your presentation and to favor your team. So beyond that, I think more of that we'll be talking about it on Monday, when we'll be covering the pitches and presentations and how you should conduct them. So there's going to be more judges who are going to be announced, and the schedule looks like this. So on Monday, the 15th, that is 9 a.m. Central African time. I think this should be 7 a.m. Back in Nigeria. Okay, so yeah. So I think the other thing that we will do is we'll also present a schedule that has the different time zones that we represent, so that we all know when these events are starting out for us. Now, the thing is, we've been given quite some bit of time to conduct the hackathon. So it starts on Monday at 9 a.m. and ends on Thursday at 9 a.m. This means you have about 3 days, 3 full days to build out your applications. So they definitely expect that the applications will be extremely good, because the time given has allowed for some good development to take place. Now, the judging process will happen on Thursday, October the 18th and 19th, and the week of the 22nd, winners will be announced. Remember, the winners are going to South Africa. I think there'll be a sponsored trip to South Africa. I don't know all the details about that. Now, when you're building on EOS, if you go back to what the different events are about and the different challenges are about, you know that the different hackathons demand that you use the blockchain, which is EOS.io. They also demand that your application be scalable. They demand that your application is impactful. And there's one more criteria, which I will find. Yeah, please.
Please mute your mic, please.
Thank you. I thought they were contributing the last point, but we will provide all this information in the group. of what different applications are. We'll even go a step further and we'll start anticipating the type of projects that we are going to have, or the type of challenge that we're going to have, which puts us in a frame of mind where we can think of the challenges and the solutions we want to solve deeply. This will help you build a really good application, and it will really help you during your presentation. Now, I think we've gone over the important bits and pieces of what we intend to do in the coming week. So, yeah. Right.
All right.
So,
okay.
Sorry. So, we need to have teams that will go out to South Africa for the final. We are putting together some just advertising it and promoting it really hard here in Nairobi so that we get some good teams to participate. We also expect that the same is going to happen in Nigeria. We want also to plan for anything that will be needed either in the week of preparation or in the week of the hackathon. That includes bandwidth and resources to connect and such, right? So I think with that, I'll move it over to the second part of our discussion today. Felix Masharia from EOS Nairobi will also tell us the plan for the week. And after the plan for the week, now we can have a discussion around what we need to do and improve. We can have feedback, then we can close and prepare for the next day. Go ahead, Felix.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Hi, everyone. I think I can see a few people I know here, Kent and Sam Sticks, and nice to meet you, Akin Tunde. So I'm supposed to be presenting what our plan is around next week, because we only have 11 days, and how we can prepare sort of like the developers. So when we're thinking about this, we sort of like took a very inclusive approach. So we wanted developers from all the African countries that can sort of like join, and we wanted to support all these developers. So like Daniel has said, we as a BP are not allowed to sort of like participate in the competition, but we can mentor and support teams that want to participate in the competition. And since this is a sort of like the first time, I think there'll be a virtual hackathon. Of the several that have happened, most of them have been physical. Then we need, as a continent, to be able to prepare well and to have a bit of coordination around this. So on Saturday, the October the 6th, the Kenyan team will begin training developers. So we are thinking of enrolling about 50 teams for the hackathon. Currently, I have a list of 77 teams that would want to enroll for this hackathon. So we will have a training at a facility, most likely either Moringa or our facility at Kutani, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we have sort of like a program on that, which we'll be releasing later on. And these particular developers will be trained by Shalom and Steve, who had been trained by Phil Meisner when he was in Nairobi. From 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Kenyan time, that is East African time, we'll have a Zoom call where Shalom and Steve will train any developers outside Kenya. So like if you're a Nigerian developer and you want to join that particular Zoom call, or you're from Botswana, or you're from Zimbabwe, we expect some teams from those two countries. Then you can join the Zoom call between 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, October 6th, East African time. I think that will be 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Nigerian time. And part of what we'll be discussing, or part of what will be covered on Saturday, will be things like how to set up a node, CLIOS, node EOS introduction, some sample smart contracts and smart contract building, front-end integration to EOS, as well as tools and documentation that is important when you're preparing for the hackathon. Then on Sunday, October the 7th, from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., again, East African time, Shalom and Steve will repeat that particular process. So for those ones who will not have made it for the Saturday event, Sunday then will be a good chance for you to join the Zoom call and sort of like learn the basics of EOS if you don't have that exposure. So we're expecting that a lot of these C++ developers will catch on quickly. On Monday, October the 8th, from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. East African time, which is, I think, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Daniel will be taking teams through the pitch process. So Daniel was able to join the rest of the EOS community at the EOS London Hackathon. And we, prior to that, had been trained by a gentleman called Harris Oyland from Australia, sort of like on what is required for the EOS London Hackathon and how to prepare for it. So on Monday, October the 8th, between 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. East African time, we expect to have sort of like a training on the pitch. And this is probably something that teams should not miss, because even during the EOS London Hackathon itself, teams were encouraged not to miss the pitch workshop. So we also think that it will be great if Block 1 kind of sent a video. So we will be talking to them in the course of this week, probably tomorrow, to send a recording of how they envision the presentations will happen, because this is sort of like a virtual hackathon, and we want to know whether we are presenting slides or we'll be presenting on Slack, or will it be a Zoom call with the judges, and so on and so forth. So sort of like clarity around that. We will be able to play the Block 1 video and even send the recording to the group on Monday. October the 9th is a Tuesday. So part of what we are doing in Kenya on Saturday will be to divide these teams and sort of like have them under particular mentors. So in EOS Nairobi, we have paired up and we have 4 groups of mentors, 2 mentors each. And each of these 4 mentors will then work with the teams throughout the week. So on Tuesday, there will be a review in teams. So the teams that will have mentors, sort of like they will review what they have done and how far they are and what challenges they have and any questions they have. And that will help sort of like the developers be ready. We expect that sort of like Nigeria can have the same system where EOS Nation or EOS Nigeria can organize mentors for the teams in Nigeria. On October the 10th, which is a Wednesday, we are going to sort of like have a free day, and most of the developers will be left sort of like to think about their ideas or to figure out the code and so on. On October the 11th, which will be a Thursday, again, we'll have a review of systems. So basically, the teams will be meeting their mentors and they'll be discussing again the challenges and how far they are with the coding. Then October the 12th, which is a Friday, from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. East African time, which is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Nigerian time, we're going to have the Nairobi mega presentation and the Botswana mega presentation. So the mega presentation is just for teams that have been working throughout the week to sort of like present what they have worked on, what sort of like the challenges they faced, and how they're able to overcome those challenges. And that will help us to know how far teams are in Botswana and Nairobi. And then we were suggesting on October 13th, which is a Saturday, at around the same time, which is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Nigerian time, we were suggesting that we should have the Nigerian mega presentation, where Nigerian teams will present what they've been working on throughout the week, what challenges they faced and so on, and also have sort of like a Zambia presentation. Now for these ones, we don't necessarily expect all the teams to present. So like if there are 50 teams from Nairobi, we don't expect all 50 teams to present, just a few, and they can choose delegates and so on to sort of like present them in the call. On October the 14th, which will be a Sunday, which will be sort of like a day before the event, we will let people rest and sort of like have their prayers, those ones who go to church or those ones who go to the mosque. And then we are also going to be doing a lot of announcements in the group just to prepare people for Monday. So Monday, the hackathon starts, I think here the 15th, it will start in Nairobi at around 10 a.m., which is I think 8 a.m. Nigerian time. I think our suggestion for all the groups will be to check the time, UTC time that has been given by Block 1, and sort of like do a time conversion to Nigerian time. And then, of course, from Monday all the way to Thursday, we'll be coding. There'll be a lot of help from Block 1 mentors. And I think also there'll be a lot of help from EOS Nairobi development team and EOS Nigeria and EOS Nation development team, and even EOS ZD and other South African teams that might join the hackathon. Then we'll have, I think, presentations sometime on Friday and so on. So like that's sort of like our suggestion for how to prepare the whole EOS Africa community for the hackathon. And we would love to hear your opinions on the same. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. From Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix is from EOS Nairobi, and Mr. Daniel. Okay, guys, do you have any question? Hello? You can unmute your mic right now and ask questions, please. The real smart, do you have any question? Oga Kent, are you in the house? Okay, it's in Andelo.
No question now.
Question, please.
Yeah, no question from me for now.
Okay, no question. All right.
Yeah, for now.
I have a question.
Yeah,
not really a question, but all these dates that that were just stated, can we have a documented some sort of document where like we can see all those dates in details?
Okay, Mr. Felix, will it be possible to share the documents with us, maybe in the WhatsApp group or something?
Yes, so I will have Rosaline from EOS Nairobi prepare the document tonight and most of tomorrow morning, and then we'll send it in the WhatsApp group. And then I think you can also share it sort of like your Telegram groups. I can see Kent asking about October the 12th. He missed the highlights for October the 12th, which is the Friday. So October the 12th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. East African time, which is I think 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Nigerian time. There'll be the Nairobi mega presentation and the Botswana mega presentation. So we'll have teams from Nairobi and Botswana sort of like present what they have been doing during the week, the challenges that they faced, and so on. So for the cities that have a lot of teams, so let's say like Nairobi might have 60 teams, they might have to choose delegates from their teams to sort of like represent them in the call.
Okay. We'll have the documents in the group. I'll share it in the WhatsApp group and maybe in the Telegram group. And also, for those that are just joining us, if you don't know about, before you join, I'm sure you know about EOS already and while we're here. So the summary is that there's going to be a hackathon, EOS Virtual Hackathon, meaning you can participate from wherever you are. So there will be different centers in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, different parts of Africa. There will be a center in Kenya. Okay, this meeting will end in about 10 minutes because we're using a free Zoom. So in about 10 minutes, I'll share another link in the WhatsApp group. But meanwhile, I have the documents sent to us in the group. And what's next? Okay, I think I should just start praying for the next link. So you just check the WhatsApp group. I'll drop the link in the WhatsApp group now. Thank you.
Cool. I also have questions for Nigeria. So let's just meet in the next Zoom link.
Hello.
I'll end the session now, then drop the link in the WhatsApp group so we can rejoin and continue. I think.